good, everybody? MidMorningSol back at it again with yet another episode of Piofiore Faded Memories. And y'all, I thought I was going to be able to do this a little after part 55, but the turkey said, fuck that, you're going to sleep. So I fell asleep, but I'm up really early, and I figure it's still going to be the same. And I have a morning episode and an evening episode. So y'all, last we left, we finished chapter 4, and what all happened? So Leo and Lily went out a second time to the church. Unfortunately, of course, you know, the first time we only ran into Gilbert, and you know, that was that. This past time, we ran into Yang, and also we reunited with Marco and Roberto. So you can imagine what a fun-filled reunion episode that was. The second time we went to see Sister Sophia. Sister Sophia would not tell us what the Key Maiden was about, unfortunately. She said, if the leader of the Falzone does not tell you what the Key Maiden is, then I certainly will not tell you. So, you know, Lily's been keeping a tight lip all this time. And, in regards to, asking about the Key Maiden. So, the Falzone and the Lao Shu are at war, and the unfortunate thing is that upon leaving the church, they got held up by the Lao Shu, and the Lao Shu were causing ruckus in Arca, which is neutral territory. So Lily and Leo had to book it elsewhere, and they ran into Marco and Roberto. Roberto still does not like the mafia, still doesn't know how things work in Berlone, but he is not insufferable yet, as in Nicola's route. So still don't like him, but it's still up in the air if they're gonna pull I know more about Roberto's backstory, so I must like him sort of deal. Kind of like the effect they had with the twins in the Lao Shu route. So we managed to escape the Lao Shu grunts, but unfortunately, we ended up running into Yang. Yang was about to snatch Lily up, but Dante and Leo, Leo left Lily with Marco and Roberto to go get a car so that they could just book it out of there. But of course, bad idea leaving Lily behind, especially with the police. But Roberto branched off from Marco and Lily to deal with the Lao Shu causing ruckus at the police entrance. And then Marco and Lily were in the back alley because they were told, because of this Lao Shu causing a commotion, go use the back entrance of the police station. And there, Yang was lying in wait, looking just as smug as ever. So, before Yang was about to probably kill Marco and snatch Lily up, or I don't know, he probably was gonna kill Lily. But whatever the case may be, Dante and Leo arrived there just in time and was able to fend off Yang for a little bit until Nicola came with reinforcements, and then Yang just walked out of there like it was nothing. So the chapter ended. Leo got reprimanded. He got slapped across his face. I didn't like that because Leo was or I was just as guilty as Leo, and Dante just ended up yelling at Lily. So but Leo took it in stride and went on about his business. So I feel as though I was explaining myself why we went to the church, even behind Dante's back. And, that's when Lily brought up the key maiden issue. So here we are, chapter 5. We're getting close to an ending, y'all. Woo! So yeah. A solitary. Alright. So yeah, he was just about to talk to us when shit happened outside the manor. So join me and let's see what Dante has to say, or let's see what the hell's going on. Shall we? Inside the office, sounds of shouting can be heard from outside. I looked at Dante to see if he knew what was happening. What's going on? I doubt he would know.
Kappa, 大変です.
Leo, 部屋に入るときはせめてノックを。
If it's an emergency, I think we could bypass that.
それどころじゃないんです。襲撃です。
Yeah, I mean, dude, ain't nobody got time to knock and go through the typical shit. Attacked?
敵は
一人です。
Is this Yang? God damn it.
だったらさっさと片付けろ。
It's Yang. I don't think nobody can take care. Or it could be Orlok.
それがめちゃくちゃ強いやつなんです。ドミニクさんがやられました。
Not the homie Domenico. Oh my god. I hope he doesn't die again.
ドミニクが。
Uh-oh. Yeah.
ピエトロとジャコモさんが足止めしてて、やばいからカポは避難するようにって。
Oh. We got names to the homies. Pietro, Giacomo.
避難？バカを言うな。
Might be talking about me. Dante stood up from his seat, gun in hand, and prepared to step out. No, I don't think you should.
俺が出る。レオ、お前はここに残れ。彼女を守ってくれ。
Okay.
カポならそう言うと思ってました。でもダメです。
Leo blocked the door to keep Dante from leaving.
敵の狙いはカポかもしれないんですよ。だったらカポにはまず安全なところに避難してもらわないと。
Better not die or get hurt. I don't know.
レオ、俺がやすやすと殺されると思うか？
You know, a few routes say otherwise. You know what I'm saying?
そんなことはないですけど、それでもダメです。行かせられません。
Even though he shamed you in front of me, you still regard him. That's mafia code right there. I knew something terrible was happening. Who the fuck is it? Is it? I think it has to be between Orlok or Yang. Those two cause like so many men problems. With each gunshot I heard from below, a sense of fear slowly came over me. I couldn't hide my pale complexion, and the fear was causing my body to shiver. Seeing me visibly shaken, Dante's azure eyes widened. Oh, are you actually gonna follow Leo's advice? Leo looked where Dante was looking and noticed me as well before speaking again.
ですよ。カポには彼女を守ってもらわなくちゃ。
レオ、お前が彼女を連れて。
No, you come stay with me. They said not to fucking go out there in the fray. Okay, so I guess what Lily said was like Dante always jumping out in the forefront. She may be right, but I was just finding that odd that she knew that only from like a couple instances. But I guess so. I guess he.
いや、俺が彼女を連れて行く。
はい、よろしくお願いします、カポ。
And please don't jump into the fucking forefront. Let's just go somewhere safe.
行くぞリリー、急げ。
Yes. I couldn't keep up with the events going on around me, but I decided to go with Dante. Leo followed us from behind. Let's escape, y'all. Dante stopped suddenly, then extended his arm out in front of me to tell me to stop. No. No, sweetheart, no. I don't want you to do this. No. No. I knew it was either Yang or Orlok. It was probably Orlok because he does, he's trouble for, like, the grunts and whatever. Like, no. A young man was standing in our way, holding a dagger. No, sweetheart, no, don't do this. No. No. You're...
お前はあの夜の男だな。
No, it's too early. Nobody should be hurt. Nobody should be killed. No, no.
話があるから来ました。
You had your round. No.
さっきは邪魔が入ってしまったから。
I don't want it. It's something else when I don't want love interest from another route to get hurt. I don't know why, but I just feel for Orlok. Please.
まず連れて行く。混乱するかもしれないけど、後で説明するから安心して。
That night, he appeared at the church to take me, and now he's standing in front of us again. He stared at me as if Dante and Leo weren't there. No, please. I'm not ready. If Leo dies, I'm not ready for that. No, please, please, please.
リリアーナ・アドルナート、あなたに話がある。
Sweetheart, I'm right here. We can talk right here. Me?
はい。俺は峡谷の使徒です。
A disciple. Dante stepped in front of me to block me from the young man.
人の屋敷で随分と好き勝手な真似をしてくれたようだな。
ダンテ・ファルツォーネ、あなたは俺の邪魔をするつもりらしい。
No. I'm not ready, y'all. No. Even with the chapter title, I know somebody's gonna get assaulted, whatever, but no.
当然だ。これ以上の狼藉は許さない。
なら、黙らせる。
No, sweetheart. Please, we can talk. Why do y'all have to fight first? God damn it. These men don't think first. The young man charged with his dagger before even finishing his sentence. Why is that music playing? Oh my god.
Kapo!
No. Oh, the arm. Okay, I think he'll live. Leo jumped in between them to shield Dante. The dagger slashed Leo across the arm. Oh, no, not my cinnamon roll is going at it. No.
あなたたちに用はない。俺は彼女に話をしに来たんだから。
Please. Oh, Warlock baby, no. You already hurt Leo. Please don't do anything else.
ふざけるな。ファミリーの人間に手を出されて黙っていられるわけがない。
そう。引く気がないならそれも仕方ない。俺にもここで戦う利がある。
Wait! I hurriedly called out to the young man in an instant to prevent any further bloodshed. Well, he still got that dagger on ready. The young man looked at me quietly with his colored eyes. You hurt Leo. And also you could have fucking killed Sister Sophia. I know I trust you in another route, sweetheart, but not right now. I don't trust you. Oh, my baby. I'm sorry. I don't trust you. I know, I'm sorry. The young man flinched and held his breath. Even if you are a member of the church, you hurt Leo. How could I ever trust you? Okay, Lily, goddamn. Got that ether on him. That's right, though. He did hurt Leo. I don't like that.
でも、俺の使命はとても重要なもの。だから仕方がなかった。マフィアと問答してる時間はないし、彼らの血はすでに見放されてるから。
Jesus. I don't understand what you're saying. If you think you could do anything you want in order to accomplish your mission, then there's no way I can trust you, ever.
ファルツォーネのことは信じるの？彼らはマフィアなのに。
It don't matter. Like, you got snakes in the pulpit. So, I mean, like, it's better to know the snake. It's better to know you're dealing with a snake head on, so you know how to avoid the head from when you get, if you're gonna get bit, you know what I'm saying? Yes, everyone here is a part of the mafia. I'm aware that not all their actions are in the name of justice. But I trust them far more than those who would harm someone trying to protect another. Didn't he do that with Yang though? He did like harm Yang, whatever. Come on, Dante, you have to like that answer. I don't like going against Orlok. I looked at Dante and he seemed a lot calmer now. What about my baby Leo? No. No, I don't like it when cinnamon rolls attack each other. That's not good.
俺は手段を間違ったのかも。だけど峡谷の意志は絶対的に正しい。
No, baby. No, we went over this in your route. No, it's just go away. I don't want you hurt. Just go away.
だからあなたには俺と一緒に。
カボ、無事ですか? Oh god, they're gonna just fucking let it off like the OK Corral. We need to go. I heard footsteps coming toward us. The others arrived while I was talking to him.
まあいい。第一の目的は果たした。彼女のことは今日は見過ごす。
Leo! Oh my god. No, I'm worried about Leo. Orlok, why did you do that? Upon seeing the others approaching, he turned his eyes toward Dante.
今日の目的は顔見せと忠告だけ。峡谷はすでにしびれを切らしてる。 今後ファルツォーネに峡谷の庇護は与えられない。
Don't be like that. With that, he quickly turned to the window and leapt out. Jesus. Ah! Oh my god, they have to replace that window, Orlok.
カポ、お怪我は？俺に怪我はない。レオが軽傷を負った。
Oh my god, I hope nothing happens from just that arm wound.
わかった。
With the peril gone, Leo kneeled down to the floor. Leo, show me your arm. We have to bandage it.
あ、すみません。怪我自体はかすり傷なんで、大したことないですよ。大丈夫です。
Boy, shut the hell up. No. Let's get a bandage right now. I don't care. Go see a doctor. Stitch that shit up if you need to. I don't know what kind of wound it is. But no, it's not just a scratch. Dante stepped away from his men and looked down at Leo sitting on the ground.
レオ、なぜ間に入った？
If he didn't, you would be with a goddamn stab wound and Leo defeated his purpose as being a bodyguard.
なんでって気づいたら体が勝手に。それにカポを守るのが俺たちの役目ですし。
You can't be mad at him forever.
あ、でもすみません。カポならあんな攻撃避けられましたよね。
Could he? We can't really tell, like in visual novels with action scenes, but I don't think so. Like if Leo jumped in, like he made that call, like Orlok would have got him.
俺出しゃばっちゃって。
Don't apologize. You clearly 100% made sure that the fucking that there was not a scratch on him. That's the thing, not a scratch, right? Dante patted Leo on the head in a consoling way, then gave orders to one of his men.
ジャコモ、レオの手当てをしてやれ。
Oh, I can patch him up.
いや、お前はすぐ自分の部屋に戻って、この屋敷を出る準備をしろ。
Leave? Oh no. Hey, are you sending me back to the church? What?
すぐにだ。いいな。
Damn, okay. Yes. Surprised by his seriousness, I nodded back reluctantly. Get ready, but I arrived here empty-handed. There wasn't much that belonged to me. So, does this mean that he's going to let me return to the church? I'm about to say return. What the hell is that? Or is he planning on taking me somewhere else? That's my guess, somewhere else. Because why would he take you back to the church when Orlok could just snatch her up easy? He's probably going to move her again because Orlok was able to just jump in the damn manor and cause a stir. I had no clue what Dante was planning. Oh, yeah. Just a moment, I'm coming.
よ、ジョーちゃん。こいつを届けに来たんだ。
What you brought me? He walked into my room carrying a trunk with him. I ain't got no clothes though.
荷物が多いと目立つから、持っていくものはこのトランクに全部まとめてほしい。
Oh, thank you. I wonder what all I got. The damn cat and the clothes off my back. So you want me to put the cat up in there?
足りないものがあれば、おいおい届ける予定だ。ひとまず当面必要なものだけを詰めるといい。
Okay. I understand. Thank you.
じゃあ俺は部屋の外で待たせてもらう。ジョーちゃんの準備ができたら呼んでくれ。
Thank you, Valsone Member B. From the sound of it, it doesn't seem like they're going to send me to church. No, why would they? Again, like I said, Orlok knows you're there. He could just snatch you up real easy, so they're going to send you somewhere else. Which means they're going to hide me somewhere else. Thoughts of where I'd be going filled my mind as I quickly packed my things into the trunk. All these were given to me during my time here. With the trunk filled, I opened the door and called out to the family member. I'm sorry to keep you waiting. I'm ready now.
ご苦労さん。じゃあこのトランクは俺が車に運んでおくから。
Girl, you stuffed that damn cat in the... Oh, just kidding. Carlo! Carlo woke up and was now mewing and rubbing past my leg. What should I do with Carlo? He's not gonna come with me.
悪いが、そのおちびさんは連れて行けない。餌のことはジュリアあたりに頼んでおく。
Oh, my kitty. Understood. I'm sorry, Carlo. I need to step out for a bit. We'll meet again, I promise. Carlo looked at me with a puzzled expression. Sorrow began to fill my heart.
ジョーちゃん、頼む。急いでくれ。
I'm sorry. Goodbye, Carlo. Please take care. I tried to keep my composure while turning to leave the room. Aww. I heard Carlo mewing sadly from behind. I forced myself to keep moving. I felt a pang of regret, but I continued outside without turning back. I saw that the car was ready to take me. Leo had already been tended to and was there to see me off. Oh, now I get to leave Leo. No. I hope your arm is fine. Oh, Leo, are you all right?
はい、もう手当ては済みましたし、大丈夫です。
Okay. Because the only thing I'm worried, like, Nicola was stabbed in his arm during Orlok's route, and then Nicola couldn't even use his arm properly for a good while, so I'm thinking it was the same. But wasn't it like a slash and not a stab? Oh well, I don't know. I sighed with relief seeing Leo's bright and energetic smile. He could be putting on a front. Just saying.
レオ、話がある。来い。
はい。
Leo responded immediately and ran off in Dante's direction. I watched the two of them speaking from afar while I waited my departure. Their conversation ended, but instead of Leo returning, it was Dante who came walking toward me.
リリ、車に乗れ。
Where to?
詳しい話は屋敷を離れてからだ。
Okay. Please don't narrow your eyes at me. Without saying another word, Dante opened the door to the car for me to get inside. I felt a brief sense of anxiety come upon me as I quietly entered the car. Excuse me. It's real early. I need my coffee. We left the manor with the aftermath of the fight earlier still in the air. Where is Dante gonna take me this time? Good question. It's been a while since we left the manor. I haven't seen this area before. The car slowly slowed down and came to a complete stop at a corner.
車を降りろ。
Okay. an alley. Great. I obeyed Dante and disembarked.
お前は市内を何周かしてから屋敷に戻れ。尾行を警戒して慎重に動け。
はい。カポもどうか気をつけて。
After Dante gave his orders to the driver, he took my trunk and began walking. I chased after him immediately. Despite holding my luggage, Dante was still walking faster than me. Ew. Well, how heavy is that trunk? That trunk is usually heavy, but like I'm pretty sure with the lack of stuff that you put in there, it shouldn't have been too big of a deal for Dante. He's strong. He weaved through the streets without telling me where we were going. I mustered the courage to follow him through the dimly lit roads. This is pretty tiring. We'd been walking for quite a while, but Dante's pace hadn't slowed a bit. I could tell I was panting, but I needed to keep up with him. Dante turned around and noticed he was walking some distance ahead of me. Damn, Lily, you out of shape, girl. Welcome to the club.
悪い。気がせいていたようだ。
Nah, I'm pretty sure Dante's just really fit, so yeah. I'm fine. I can keep up.
すまない。疲れているだろうが、もう少しだけ頑張ってくれ。
He spoke with a hint of remorse in his voice and continued his walk down the road. Dante seemed to be walking more slowly now. I could keep up without too much effort. He adjusted his speed for me. Oh, he doesn't want you collapsing on him. He even apologized after he noticed how behind I was. Seeing his kindness and concern brought a gentle warmth to my heart. Okay. What the fuck? Alright. This is giving me the Enchante, Cafe Enchante tease when we were trying to meet the queen. Like, why is it taking this long to go where we need to go? Time passed quickly as we continued our walk, and soon dusk was upon us. Dante finally came to a stop in front of a house. Where are we? Dante set my truck on the floor as I looked around inside. It's cute, it's modest.
ここはファルツォーネが有事の際に使用する隠れ家の一つだ。ああも簡単に屋敷の警備を突破されたからな。早急に身を隠す必要があった。
Right. Dante looked down and took a breath. Then he looked straight at me.
ここも絶対に安全だとは言えないが。
Damn, that's fucked up. So they could have still been followed, or still, you know, if they know that Lily or Dante come out of this place, you know, that place is compromised. That place is safety, and whatchamacallit, I don't know. But the exclusivity is compromised.
それでもファルツォーネの屋敷はこの町の人間なら誰でも場所を知っている。それに比べればまだ安全だろ
う。Right, that makes sense.
これまでの生活より居心地が悪くなると思うが、事態が落ち着くまでしばらく我慢してくれ。
Okay. Well, are you gonna stay here with me? I don't think excessive catering is necessary. The place is actually quite nice.
そうか。
Yeah, I mean, it's really like the manor is so fucking huge, but here is like nice and intimate. It's more normal, I guess. This house is much bigger and nicer than the room I lived in back in the church. I sat on the sofa and smiled. Dante looked at me with a somewhat surprised expression. There you go, Lily, seeing the glass half full. He then chuckled a bit and gave a small smile. So much has happened today. I should get some rest. Excuse me. I left the manor in the morning and saw Sister Sophia. On the way back, I was attacked by the Lao Shu and saved by Marco and the others. Then that person, Yang, appeared. When I returned to the manor, I was attacked by a young man professing to be with the church. I can't believe all of this happened in just a single day. The same could be said for Dante. Arriving here and finally settling down must have broken my stream of adrenaline. Drowsiness suddenly washed over me.
Lily.
Huh? Dante called my name, seeing my eyelids closing. Girl, that is the kiss of death with me. Once my eyelids start closing, I want sleep. I know he's calling to me. I know he's calling me, but I can't fight the sleep taking hold. Slowly but surely, I began my descent into slumber. I don't know how much time had passed, but I felt a comfortable warmth around me. I opened my eyes at the sunlight and the chirping of birds outside. Where am I? The room looked foreign, but as I grew more conscious, my mind slowly recalled what had happened. I immediately jumped out of the bedroom. I ran out to the living room, and there on the sofa was Dante.
ああ、起きたか。昨べよりは顔色も良くなっているようだ。
I'm sorry, Dante. I didn't know that I fell asleep.
まったく、あんなことがあった後にこれだけ眠れるとは意外に大物だな。
But how is shit gonna? I guess Nicola is gonna act as boss for the time being. I was just thinking like, oh, how's this gonna work now that Dante's at a remote location? And I forgot they have their second in command at the place. So I think, well, I was just tired because of everything that happened, you know. Dante chuckled, seeing me flustered and trying to make excuses for myself.
冗談だ。眠れないよりずっといい。カフェラテを入れてある。飲むか？
Since you already have it ready, sure, honey. Why, certainly. Dante prepared a cafe latte with a generous heaping of milk and sugar. It tasted good. I could feel the warmth spreading inside me, loosening my tension. Say, Dante, how long are we gonna stay here?
まだわからない。安全が保証できるまで動かないつもりだ。
Oh, thank you. I see. I nodded lightly as I remembered yesterday.
ネズミ狩りがこのまま順調に進めば、そう遠くないうちにお前を教会へ返してやれるだろう。
He did say that, y'all, so... Okay, we'll see. That's what he said, but... with what had just happened, I doubt I could return to the church anytime soon. It can't be helped.
俺が出る。お前はそこに座っていろ。
Oh. Please tell me that's one of our men. Dante carefully looked out the window to verify, then opened the door.
二人ともおはよう。よく眠れたかな？
Sweetheart, aren't you supposed to be at the manor? Wait a minute, is this Nicola's? No. Nicola has his own manor that he could use. this ain't a manor. But, you know, could make sense if they go to that place too. So I guess they have options, is what I'm saying. Nicola came in, arms filled with several bags.
ダンテ、こっちが朝食のパニーニで、これは当面の食材と物資だよ。どこに置けばいい？
Ah, could you place any food items in the kitchen? I looked over the goods Nicola brought and breathed a sigh of relief. I know they wasn't gonna have us starving. Did you come here alone? It must have been heavy carrying all these.
まあね、仕方ないよ。この隠れ家の場所は限られた人間にしか知らされていないから。
Nicola placed the bags down and spoke in an apologetic tone.
昨日ファルツォーネが襲撃を受けた時、屋敷を開けていてごめんね、ダンテ。
I guess so, but...
僕がいればもう少し違う対処の仕方があったかもしれないのに。
I mean, it played out fine, except that Leo got injured, but other than that,
お前も仕事で出かけていたんだから仕方ないことだろう。あまり気にするな。
Okay, Dante. Dante is cool with it. It looks like you had to actually do business for the family. Whatever.
まあね、せめてすぐ顔を見に来ようと思ったんだけど。レオから伝言を聞いていろいろと処理をしていたらあっという間に一晩経っちゃって。
What message? Leo's message? Come to think of it, weren't you telling him something before we left the manor?
なあ、俺が屋敷を離れても混乱が生じないよういくつか指示を出しておいた。ニコラへの伝言もその一つだ。俺が不在の間、屋敷での指揮は任せると。
Yeah, pretty much. Like, yeah, Nicola would be the interim boss for now.
責任重大だよね、カポ代理なんてさ。
Nicola shrugged and let out a sigh, but it seemed like he was handling things well.
屋敷のゴタゴタを片付け終わったら朝になっていて、やっとここに来られたんだよ。
What, like fixing that damn window Orlok crashed out of? That sounds tough. Thank you, Nicola.
襲撃を受けて負傷者多数だなんて世間に知られたら僕たちのメンツに関わるからね。
それで何か問題はあったか？
大丈夫だよ。ちゃんとファルツォーネは襲撃されていないことになっているから。怪我人の対応も注意している。内々に医者を呼んで治療に当たらせたしね。もちろんすごく大変だったけど、なんとか頑張って事態を収拾しておいた。
ご苦労だった、ニコラ。詳しく報告してくれ。
いいよ。続きは朝食を食べながらにしようか。僕もまだなんだよね。
Yeah, let's all eat breakfast. Wait, how many chairs were at that table? It looked like just 2. But I guess I'll make it sound on the sofa. Oh no, there was 3. Okay, how convenient. Our breakfast ended up being the panini Nicola brought, accompanied by fresh coffee. Shit, that don't sound too bad at all. There is such a thing as breakfast panini. Nicola continued his report during breakfast, informing us about what happened.
重軽傷合わせて24人、入院が必要なものも数名。幸運なのか手加減されたのか死者はなし。
Whew, the homie Domenico's safe. Thank goodness.
目撃者の証言から犯人を探しているけど、現時点で足取りはつかめていないよ。
Nicola spoke more about the family as well as the current situation both in and outside of the manor.
今言えるのはこれくらいかな。
Nicola wrapped up his report just as we finished with breakfast. Can you brew some coffee for us?
グラッツィエ。僕はエスプレッソで。
Fine. What's the difference? Oh, y'all. I had to look up. Like, one time I was buying a drink from Dunkin' Donuts, and I legit did not know what the fuck, like, what's the difference between a macchiato and an espresso and a cappuccino and flat white or whatever the hell it's called. It's crazy. It's crazy. I think I might have said this before, but yeah, espresso is just concentrated coffee. Of course. And you, Dante? Didn't we have a cafe latte? You should be good.
任せる。
Oh, you trust my culinary skill? Okay. I headed to the kitchen and heated up a kettle of water for coffee. After some thought, I decided to make an espresso. God damn it. I decided to make an espresso and 2 cups of cafe latte. We already had that. What the fuck? Enjoy. I set the coffee down and got myself seated. Oh, the music cut off. Shit. Dante looked directly at me and spoke.
お前はまだ何が起きているのか状況を把握できていないと思う。
Sweetheart, you didn't tell me everything. That's why I've been asking you. Well, I haven't been asking you, but that's why I've been in my mind wanting to ask you what the fuck is the Key Maiden and Keepers of the Grave. We know this, but Lily needs to hear this.
だが最低限の説明だけでもしておきたい。お前にも知る資格があるからな。
The fact that you're still willing to withhold details is concerning. How in the hell do I know how to act accordingly and take this all in if you do not give me the full intent of, my situation? I can't go off the bare minimum, Dante. You need to trust me because I might do something stupid.
まだ説明していなかったの、ダンテ。
This is why I would side with Nicola, because he would have just flat out told me. But he did. Actually, true facts, he didn't tell me. He just hinted at stuff. But he didn't tell me either, so Nicola was really no better. Yeah, Nicola never told me. He was just like, oh, but I don't want to keep you in the dark. Cause, yeah.
じゃあ、君に放置されていた彼女は一晩ずっと不安だったんじゃ。
Yes. Not knowing is just as scary, or scarier. Actually, I fell sound asleep. I must have been really tired. He couldn't explain to me because I was completely unconscious within moments. Is that the case? Oh, he did call out. Excuse me. He did call out to her, but it was like. So he might have explained the whole situation, but I was knocked the fuck out. Dante, you not slick. You knew I was tired as fuck. Dante noticed my red face and coughed slightly.
今更だが、そもそもマフィアとは何かというところから話したい。
I don't. Whatever. Go ahead. They're really starting from the basics. Like Dante, I don't give a fuck at this point. My concern is what do I have to do with the Falzone family? You need to tell me that.
マフィアの起源は農地を守るために武装したその土地の守護者たちだった。
Wow. Is this true? I don't mind a little lesson now. I'm talking me, Sasha. I'm pretty sure Lily don't really give a fuck at this point.
彼らは農地管理人として権力者と密接な関係を結びながら発展していった。
I recall hearing that the word mafia didn't always refer to the criminal organization.
では、マフィアが時として秘密結社と呼ばれることは知っていたか？
Interesting. I never would have guessed. Well, yes. Though I'm not so sure, sorry, I added a word. Well, yes. Though I'm not sure what's so secret about it.
秘密を抱えているということだけを念頭に置いてくれればそれでいい。
Okay, that could be inferred though.
そしてブルローネの得意性についても話しておきたい。
Okay.
この町はイタリア王国に属しているにもかかわらず王国の干渉をほとんど受けず自治権を持つ。なぜそんなあり方が許されているか知っているか？
Because Berlone was originally a papal state. This term just now coming up. Wow. Papal state. Areas under the rule and order of the Pope and the state of the Church. Even since Berlone was joined with the Kingdom of Italy, the Church's influence is still strong, isn't it?
正解だよ。一般的に知られている理由はそこまでだね。
Is there another reason? Dante replied in a serious voice.
そもそもブルローネがなぜ教国領だったのかというところにその理由が隠されている。それはこの町に聖遺物があるためだ。
Okay, he's telling us a little bit more. Sacred relic, a divine object often associated with holiness, including the remains of saints. It is believed that these relics bestow special blessings upon the land where they lie. In the medieval era, many fought countless times to gain rights to these relics to prove their right to rule. Okay. Sacred relic? My eyes widened in disbelief. Dante nodded.
聖遺物が眠るこの地は教国にとって重要な場所だ。
But the other towns have theirs too. The relics are widely known and viewed as objects of faith.
そこが問題なんだ。この町にある聖遺物は一般にはその存在を秘匿されている。
だからこそ教国は大昔からこの町には手を出すなと国に圧力をかけている。
そしてファルツォーネは聖遺物の管理者だ。何者にも侵されないよう聖遺物を守るという使命を負っている。
Wait a minute, Dante. I can't keep up. The information was starting to confuse me, but Dante continued on.
この町に伝えられている神託を知っているか？
But the angels... About the prophecy given by the angel who commanded the church to be built here?
その神託を受けた人物こそファルツォーネの祖先だ。
Oh. Really? But I thought the source of the legend was lost.
一般的にはね、実際に時間の経過で失われた部分もあるだろうけど、ファルツォーネの先祖が意図的に隠した部分もあるんだよ。特に聖遺物に関する情報は。
Nicola nonchalantly explained the details while Dante kept his eyes on me.
ここに町が生まれるずっと前からファルツォーネは聖遺物を守ってきた。
Before the town was even built, I couldn't hide my confusion. Dante looked calm and continued to explain.
長い歴史の中で支配者が変わるたび支配者の圧政に抗い時に権力者と手を結びそのうちに生異物だけではなくこの地や人々の守護も請け負うようになった時代ごとにファルツォーネの形は変化し今はマフィアという形になったんだ
Somehow everything Dante told me seemed to make sense. Naturally, I had one question in mind. So, what is the sacred relic that you've been protecting? You need her help in order to get it, Dante, or keep it under wraps, so you might as well tell her.
それは明かせないただ固い封印によって守られていることは確かだ
Seal, but I think in Orlok's route, I have to look at the video myself. In Orlok's route, or in Orlok's bad end, no, I don't think they said it. I'm confusing like the relic with key, but that is Lily, the key.
ああファルツォーネの
なんてもういいんじゃないかなそれくらいで
Huh? Yeah, what? Nicola, why you stopped him?
もうそれ以上話すことはないと思うよあとは彼女が知る必要のないことなんだから
そうはいかないこうなった以上、彼女には知る権利がある
My, the tables have turned.
そして自分自身の存在の重要性について理解する必要も
Yes.
でも彼女が理解したところで事態が好転するわけじゃない全くの無意味だ
It might.
それより今はもっとファミリーにとって優先すべきことがあるんじゃない
Oh my. What is this? They both did a 180.
いやニコラファルツォーネにとって使命以上に優先すべきことはない
The silence between Nicola and Dante was making me feel uneasy. I held my cup in my hand so that it wouldn't make a sound amidst the silence. With all the discussion, our coffee went cold. I'll refill our cups, so why don't we take a break? I need some time to process things too.
ああそうだなそれがいい
Nicola sighed quietly as he rose from his seat and proceeded to the door. Nicola.
僕はちょっと外の空気を吸ってくるよコーヒーが入る頃には戻る
I don't like that. Given his track history, I don't like that, y'all. Dante and I were left alone together in the living room. I couldn't think of anything to break the silence. I quietly boiled a new pot of water and began washing our cups. Y'all don't like cold coffee? What the fuck? I like cold coffee. Excuse me. What?
急にいろんな話をされて混乱しているだろう大丈夫か
No, it's fine. Well, I can't say I wasn't surprised. Then again, every day has been a surprise since you brought me along with you. I suppose I've been very confused for some time now. Dante stared at me in silence. I'm gonna save here. Shit. Fuck. honestly think this is the better choice. It's better to know than to not know. Like I've been saying, that's what I've been saying this entire time. I wish to return to the church. Why the fuck would I do that right now? So I can get snatched up? Girl. But it's far better for me to know than to not know what's going on. That way I can think for myself and figure out what I want to do too, you know? Dante's eyes narrowed a bit as if he was looking at something bright.
強いな、お前は。
Thank you.
Huh?
その気高き精神に俺も応えよ
Thank you.
う。この先の説明すべて嘘偽りなく話すことをファルツォーネの名にかけて誓う。
That don't mean anything right now. I mean, like, if you're keeping shit from me, that's just no. This is a tightrope at this point, y'all. Omitting details and concealing stuff, it could be viewed as lying, but I don't know, y'all. I don't know. I'm not gonna do the mental gymnastics right now. I'm all tuckered from doing that in Yang's route. All right, Dante. I take your word that you won't. I couldn't bring myself to speak. His piercing eyes were like looking into the Adriatic Sea in the winter. Dante took in a deep breath, then lowered his head slightly before speaking.
できることなら何も知らせないまま日常に戻してやりたかった。それがお前にとって最善だと俺はそう信じていたんだ。
Well, I don't think that like there has to be a drastic change because there was a drastic measure to take me out of that normal life. Now there's got to be a drastic measure to put me back in. So the drastic measure could be me knowing my existence in terms of, you know, how to come to a resolution. Like, I'm gonna have to know. I can't be kept in the dark. That's just me. Dante.
それは間違いだったのかもしれないな。
Dante spoke with a look that betrayed regret over his past choices. Dante, I finally understand that you were only doing what you thought was best. Y'all gotta stop doing this. Oh my god. We both looked at each other in silence. Fuck. Fucking Nicola. You come in at the wrong time.
ただいま。ついでに辺りを軽く見てきたけど異常はなさそうだったよ。
じゃあそろそろ話を再開しよう。
Yes. I placed the coffee cups on the table and took my seat.
さっき話していたのは生異物の封印についてだったか。
Yes, I agree. You said it was guarded by a special seal.
そうだ。生異物は決して失われないよう、そして悪用されることのないように厳重に封印されている。だが万が一の異常事態に備えてその封印を解く手段も用意されている。
What do you mean by emergency?
例えばこの地ブルローネが災害や戦争に巻き込まれたとしたら、生異物を守るため別の場所に移す必要に迫られるかもしれない。
I suppose you're right.
伝承によればその封印を解く手段として必要なものが2つあるとされている。
And they are...
一つは 生異物を守護するファルツォーネの血。
Okay, I didn't know about this.
ファルツォーネが純血主義を標榜し続けたのはそのためだ。守護者の血を絶やさないように。
But hold on. I'm kind of worried about what the hell you mean by pure, but okay.
そしてもう一つ必要とされるもの。
Okay, say it, say it. We know what it is, but tell her. Dante paused for a moment, then looked at me with resolve on his face.
それが鍵の乙女という存在だ。
There we go, boom. You got your answer, Lily. What Dante just said sounded like lore from an old fairy tale. But his expression said otherwise.
この2つは生異物を最悪から守るための保険のようなものだ。
So if that's the case, then what they were doing, what the other dudes were doing, basically Orlog, well not Orlog, the church and the Lao Shu, it would have been moot because they needed a Falzone to open the safe or whatever, the seal.
そしてその鍵の乙女は
is me. Dante and Nicola both looked at me. You mean me? But Dante didn't correct me, but continued to speak.
お前の体のどこかには特殊なあざがあるだろう。それが鍵の乙女である証だ。
Girl, don't show them. just This is Dante's route. Don't be showing your goodies to everybody. Without thinking, my hand covered my chest. There you go. I mean, sure.
お前は物心つく前に鍵の乙女に選ばれブルローネの教会に連れてこられた。鍵の乙女を選定するのはあくまで教国だ。十数年おきに先生術により選ばれると聞く。以降ファルツォーネはずっと陰ながらお前のことを見守ってきた。
Wait, does that mean you know who my real parents are?
いや、お前がブルローネに来る前のことはファルツォーネにも明かされていない。
That's interesting. I see. I'm sorry, please continue.
なあ、その鍵の乙女についてだが。
ねえダンテ、今度こそ終わりにしない？
What? Why are you so eager to stop? I thought you were the one who wanted me to know the truth. Nicola interrupted Dante with a bothered look on his face.
これ以上の説明は必要ないと思うよ。彼女に伝えるべきことは全部話したよね。
Again, this is like deja vu. Why are you interrupting again?
それに生異物も封印もあくまで伝承なんだからあまり気負わせるような言い方は良くない。実在するかどうかもわからないものに踊らされるなんてバカらしいと思わない？
But I do have a sign, a scar on me.
鍵の乙女って役割は実在するのかもね。ファルツォーネって家があるみたいに。だけどそこに神秘はないかもしれない。二人ともおとぎ話を真に受けすぎているよ。
Where is this coming from, Nicola?
ファルツォーネの血も鍵の乙女も 形骸化されたものに過ぎないとでも。
そうだよダンテ、今が何年か知っている？ 1925 年、もう20世紀なんだよ。
Interesting. Yeah, this is where they do have a kind of squabbling, a rift. Oh, Nicola. Oh, God. That's all I'm gonna say.
君はいつまでそんな奇跡の伝説を信じているつもり？
Dante didn't answer. He simply stared at Nicola quietly. Nicola stared back with eyes like the calm sea. But soon enough, he looked away.
感情的になった。ごめんね。だけど、伝承を信じるかどうかについて、僕の個人的な意見は置いておくとしても、これはファルツォーネが守ってきたこの町最大の秘密だ。彼女に話したのは間違いだよ。
鍵の乙女は当事者だ。彼女に明かすのは何も間違っていない。もちろん巻き込まずに済んでいたとしたら教えることはなかっただろうが。
ダンテが優しいことはよく知っているよ。でも血のつながりがないものはたやすく裏切る。
But again, then this goes to how do you procreate to make an heir down the line if your bloodline has to be kept pure? I wonder. I hope this comes up.
彼女は鍵の乙女が信用できる保証はないんだよ、ダンテ。
You could base my trust worthiness by my character. You know I'm not gonna what the fuck am I gonna do with this type of information? I'm not. If you tell me to keep a tight lip about it, I will. I mean, for the most part, I think she did fucking let something slip, but that was by accident.
ああ、傷ついた？ごめんね。
You're apologizing a lot for being flippant of the tongue, Nicola. What the hell is your problem now?
けど君は実際にダンテの命令を無視して勝手に屋敷を抜け出したよね。
Well, no. He knows about, no, this is the second time. But, bro, no, if he says I've done it twice, then that's a problem. I'm sorry. I couldn't refute it since what he said was true. I looked down in shame. Ooh, Nicola, you're so mean and big and nasty. Dante was looking straight at Nicola as he spoke.
俺がきちんと説明をしなかったからだ。火はこちらにもある。繰り返すが、彼女には知る権利がある。これがファルツォーネの当主である俺の判断だ。
Well, the thing is, if you tell me you cannot tell this to anybody else, you must keep a tight lip on, or you must hold the secret to yourself. I would do it. I would swear, I would not let anybody else know about this. I don't understand why Nicola can't get that from me. Hearing Dante's stern words, Nicola shut his mouth and sighed in dissatisfaction.
わかった。いいよ。でもどうせならもっと生産的な話をしよう。伝承の話はもうほとんど説明し終わっているしね。それより大事なのは現状だ。君はどうして彼女を連れてこの隠れ家へ来た？
Because fucking the manor is breach, it's compromised, excuse me. It's still early in the morning. So, yeah, like, moving me here was the better choice.
屋敷が襲撃を受けた以上、そこに留まるのは危険だと判断したからだ。
The manor was breached. Like, what part of that don't you understand, Nicola?
でも最も守りが厳重な場所は屋敷だよね。構成員だってたくさんいるし。
But Orlok pretty much rumbled all of your asses, and he could easily just sneak in there in the middle of the night and snatch Lily up if that's the case.
こんな隠れ家じゃ敵に見つかった時屋敷以上に無防備になるのに、君にしては珍しく戦慮だったんじゃない？
I know one thing, the enemy better not magically find out all of a sudden. Because you, quote unquote, said, I'm one of the few people who know about this place.
どれだけ屋敷の警備が厳重だとしても、すでに一度敵の潜入を許している。
Exactly.
向こうがその気になれば、またいつでも襲撃ができるということだ。
Exactly. Like, Nicola, what? Why aren't you not getting this?
それに、襲撃者はかなりの手だれだ。対抗できるのは俺か、お前くらいだろう。
I'm wondering how the hell ain't nobody else skilled, or is this fucking plot armor? The plot armor kicking in.
相手の狙いはリリー一人だ。屋敷にとどまっても無駄な犠牲が増える。だが向こうは鍵の乙女のいない屋敷に用はない。
つまり彼女を追ってくるって？
なあ、その方が双方にとって話が早い。
It sounds like Dante left the manor to protect everyone. Or he could have probably did it to have a better watch over you. Dante maintained his calm and continued the explanation.
屋敷を出た理由は他にもある。奴があんなにも簡単に潜入できるなら、彼女がファルツォーネに来てからすぐに襲ってきてもよかったはずだ。今になって急に襲撃を仕掛けてきたのは何かしらの事情があるんじゃないか。とすれば、まず必要なのは身を隠して体勢を整えながら敵を探ることだろ
う。なるほどね。そういう理屈なら僕も異論はないよ。正確な情報をつかまないと動きようがない。
Okay, if you understand that, I don't see why you keep interjecting when Dante is trying to tell me my purpose here. You know, I would be causing more of a struggle if I didn't know versus now that I know, well, shit, okay, I can see what's out. Maybe I can even offer suggestions as to what to do about things. But keeping me in the dark is foolish.
それと、昨日の襲撃者についてなんだけど、まだ君に伝えていない情報があるんだ。襲われた構成員たちからも話を聞いて外見的特徴を照らし合わせたんだけど、
Nicola was smiling gently, but I could hear that tone of voice. Let me read that again. Nicola was smiling gently, but I could hear that his tone of voice was more serious.
襲撃者は僕が懇意にしていた情報屋だ。名前はオルロック。
Oh, in that case, Nicola should be scolded for fucking associating with him.
そもそも昨日ラオ州への襲撃が空振りしたのはオルロックから買った情報が嘘だったから。
Damn you, Orlok. I knew he was giving bad information.
そのタイミングでオルロックが襲撃してきたとなると、状況的には辻褄が合うよね。
ああ、そしてあの男は使徒を名乗って襲撃してきた。ただの情報屋が使徒の存在を知っているはずがない。
となると、 オルロックが峡谷の人間って話は間違いなさそうだね。すっかり騙されたよ。彼の素性を洗っても何も出なかったんだけど。
Yeah, I guess you did. You are had.
今思えば少し綺麗すぎる、何もなさすぎる素性だったかもね。
Can I ask a question? Who are these people that are calling themselves disciples?
聖遺物を守る俺たちが正しく役目を全うしているか監視する立場の者。
So here's the kicker. Why they seem to be having like a common goal, whatever, of protecting the relic. So then why is Orlok, well we know this, but I'm saying from this standpoint, you would wonder, well, why the hell is he attacking us when we want to just make sure that the relic is under safekeeping? And excuse me, they're not going to be able to keep that relic under wraps, or they're not going to be able to get that relic out without a Falzone, a pure blood Falzone. So I don't like why. We know why though. We know why in terms of Orlok's route. I keep telling y'all, like that answers a lot of questions. But unfortunately, you know, Orlok's just blindly following and not thinking for himself.
それが使徒と呼ばれる存在だ。
So they monitor the Falzone? That wasn't a question, my bad. I nodded and tried to absorb the information.
これと関連して気にかかることがある。以前ラオ州の構成員を捕らえた際のことだ。あいつはリリーを見て鍵の乙女だと言った。
Does he live in Foul? One of the church members are. He's talking about that time when.
それが鍵の乙女。
I remember that very well.
そもそも鍵の乙女という言葉を知る人間は数えるほどしかいない。ファルツォーネの中でも限られた人間、純血の幹部しか知らない情報だ。さらに言えば誰が鍵の乙女なのかを知っている人間はもっと限定される。
So the Lao Shu got their information from someone else?
ああ、
僕たちはオルロックから買った情報でラオ州を襲撃したけど空振りに終わった。
Scumbaggery at its finest. When you get paid and you know you leading them on a wild goose chase. I mean, get that bag, Orlok, but that's really scummy. You knew better than that.
時を同じくして使徒本人が動いてファルツォーネの屋敷を襲った。
That doesn't sound like a coincidence.
ああ、使徒はおそらくその背後にいる峡谷とラオ州がつながっているのかもしれない。
Yes, barely. That would connect the dots, but the church working with the Lao Shu, that's exactly what's going on. I couldn't and didn't want to believe that to be true.
ラオ州の首領ヤンと顔を合わせた時、あの男は奇跡の恩恵に預かりたいと言っていた。
He wants in on a lot of things. Blessings, women, drugs, you name it.
それに他にもいろいろと知っていそうな口ぶりだったからな。峡谷から何か吹き込まれたのかもしれない。
屋敷を襲撃してきた時、オルロックは今後ファルツォーネに峡谷の庇護は与えられないって言ったらしいね。
Yes, I recall hearing that as well.
だとするとファルツォーネに代わってラオ州が峡谷の庇護を手に入れるつもりなのかな。
Interesting.
僕たちファルツォーネにとって変わればこの町の完全な支配も夢じゃないからね。
もしくは峡谷から何らかの報酬を約束されて動いているのか。
Each of us were deep in thought, unable to come up with a clear answer.
材料が少ない。結論は出せないな。
I mean, they've been on the money for the most part.
とにかく使徒とヤンの目的は今のところ彼女だということ。そして峡谷がファルツォーネに対して手のひらを返したことだけは間違いない。
そうだね。ラオ州の目的は今の段階じゃ確定させられないにしても、ラオ州がファルツォーネを潰してこの町の利権を手に入れようとしているっていうのは可能性として低くなさそうだね。
Wait, does this mean that Yang is going to be coming after the Falzone? It would not surprise me.
そうだな。使徒はお前のいない屋敷に用がないとしても、ヤンはファルツォーネファミリーの力を削りたいはずだ。
ダンテが留守にしている屋敷は格好の的だね。
ああ、屋敷は遠からずラオ州に襲われるだろう。ヤンはそういう男だ。
こうなると彼らが動き出す前に数を減らせておけたのは僥幸だった。
Nicola chuckled and shrugged with irony. Dante nodded briefly, then gave his orders.
ニコラ、構成員たちの指揮は引き続きお前に任せる。ラオ州の襲撃を警戒しろ。
了解。ダンテはどうする？
ファルツォーネの当主として生物と彼女を守ることが俺の使命だ。他の選択肢はない。
Oh Lord. There was tension in the air, but I mustered my courage to ask a simple question. If the Falzone family has been guarding the relic all this time, couldn't you speak with the church? Huh? I guess that's a bitch, shut your ass up. Dante and Nicola both looked at me with surprise on their faces. I mean, why would the church suddenly turn its back on the Falzone family? Maybe there had been some kind of misunderstanding.
確かに峡谷の動きはあまりにも性急だ。ファルツォーネはこの地でずっと使命を果たしてきた。
Okay, I'm getting through.
なのになぜ裏切られたのか。その理由と峡谷の考えも探らなくてはいけないな。
じゃあ整理しよう。僕たちがこれから優先してすべきことは。
Nicola paused for a moment, choosing his words carefully.
峡谷への交渉連絡手段を探すことと峡谷に関する情報を得ること、同時にラオ州への対策もだね。
You got a full course. Dante nodded in silence. I placed my hand around my cup. It had grown cold again. Damn it, y'all drink that damn cold coffee. You're being stupid. So many things were being revealed, and I couldn't seem to get myself settled. As my thoughts took me into the night, I felt myself shivering from the cold. It's so cold. The bitter cold made me think of the warmth I felt with Carlo around. Baby Carlo. I hope Carlo isn't lonely. You brought him back! Carlo! I heard surprised I picked up Carlo's small body. Why are you here?
俺が連れてきたんですよ。
Oh, Leo. Oh, thank you. Leo, I didn't realize you had come.
ついさっきです。カポにいろいろと報告があって。
I see. Are you alright? How's your wound been healing?
心配しすぎですって。あの怪我は本当にかすり傷だったんで、もう平気ですよ。
Leo, please. I have to worry about you. I'm such a worrywart. Thank goodness. Seeing Leo's bright smile put me at ease once again.
到着したか、レオ。報告は？
はい。カポの読み通り、今日の午後、ラオシュンが屋敷に襲撃を仕掛けてきました。
Already?
けど大丈夫です。警察の介入があって、ラオシュンはすぐに撤退したので。
Interesting. The police were called? The police? They came?
はい。これもカポの指示です。事前に話を通しておいたマルコがうまくやってくれて、被害は最小限で済みました。
Wow. Dante's pretty good with the preemptive thinking. I see. That's good to hear. I could feel the tension inside me dissipate after hearing Leo's report.
峡谷とラオシュウがつながっているなら、警察の介入でラオシュウは引くと予想していた。峡谷としては警察、イタリア王国の介入を嫌がるだろうからな。読みが当たったようだ。
So the Laoshu won't attack the Falzone? Will they leave you alone now?
しばらくは大丈夫だろう。あれだけネズミ狩りをしておいたんだ。奴らも戦力は十分じゃない。だが、これでファルツォーネも組織としてはしばらく動けない。
はい。被害は最小限で済みましたけど、全くなかったわけじゃないんで。もともとあの使徒とかいうやつの襲撃で怪我人も多かったですしね。
ああ、少しの間膠着状態が続くだろう。
I felt unsettled at the idea that we didn't know what would happen next.
カポへの報告は以上です。ところでニコラさんはどこに？
What the hell? Why are you asking that? Come to think of it, I haven't seen him.
ニコラのことだ。どうせ独自に動いているんだろう。こっちに帰ってくるようなら屋敷に戻らせる。構成員の指揮は引き続きニコラが取る。
わかりました。あとカポの指示通り、この隠れ家のことを知ってるのは俺とニコラさんだけです。
Okay, so it's only Nicola and Leo besides us two that know about this place. So if the disciple pulls up, it's Nicola that told him.
他の構成員には話してませんから、今後も定期連絡とかは俺が担当しますね。
ああ、尾行にはよく気をつけろ。
はい。では失礼します。
The room was quiet again with Leo's departure. The time felt like it flew by with Carlo and Leo. It's pretty dark outside already. Say, Dante, I know it's a bit late, but how about I make dinner for us?
いや、俺はあまり食べる気分じゃない。
Aww. I understand this may not be the time to relax and enjoy a meal, but you need to eat because of the current situation. Staying healthy is important. A full stomach can help lift your spirits.
じゃあ、頼む。
Okay. Why, yes. I'll whip up something right away. I cooked dinner using the ingredients Nicola brought, and sat at the table with Dante. Forgive me, it's a bit simple.
いや、十分だ。
I should be able to make something better tomorrow.
いや、無理はしなくていい。
You doubt me? The predecessor of Gordon Ramsay? I do not push myself in my kingdom of the kitchen. What is wrong with you, Dante? God damn it, y'all keep being silent around each other. Our conversation wasn't faring well. I couldn't seem to come up with any good topics given the way things were.
そういえば、
Dante set his spoon, Dante set down his spoon and looked at me.
ドルチェはよくあったが、お前が作った食事を食べるのは初めてだな。
Yeah. Oh, you're right. If only I could make dinner as good as Julia.
いや、うまい。落ち着く味だ。
Aw, thank you.
I have a feeling you're just saying that, though. Dante held a gentle look on his face as he spoke to me in a soft tone. I was pleased to hear him compliment my cooking. Alright, it was good. But the Dolce had him sealed. That was my love spell on him. I washed the dishes after dinner and thought it might be a good time to speak with Dante. Dante? He's not answering me. Dante? Aw, no wonder he felt. No wonder he hadn't answered, or he wasn't answering me. He had fallen asleep on the sofa. Wake up, Dante. You're gonna catch a cold like this. Come to think of it, I was sleeping on the sofa last night as well. Huh? But I woke up in bed. Wait, did Dante take me there? I was embarrassed at how long it took me to realize that. I was also grateful that he showed such kindness toward me. But I can't carry Dante to bed, 'cause you's a weak bitch. Not wanting him to catch a cold, I went around the sofa to nudge his shoulder. Dante, wake up. With a what timing? Carlos suddenly pounced at my feet, swatting them with his tiny clawed paws. Ah! I lurched forward, extending my arms out to keep myself from falling. And let me guess, I landed right on top of him. Ooh! I found myself looking right into Dante's face. Girl, what is you doing? Did I just let out a scream? Or maybe I touched him a bit. Dante's eyelashes fluttered and his eyelids opened slowly, revealing a cold azure blue.
リリー、どうした？
It's not what you think. You were asleep, so I just wanted to wake you and...
そうか。すまない。寝てしまう。
Okay, it do look kind of bad though. I'm not gonna knock what Lily just said. Yeah, it's like Lily getting a little frisky, sweetheart. Not that I'm complaining, girl. Get that D, get that. Get some action. Get that eggplant. He was looking right at me, but it seemed he wasn't fully awake yet. But soon, the haze in his eyes started to clear and... I noticed a tinge of red sweep across his cheeks as he begins to stutter.
これはどういう状況だ？
I quickly replied, oh fuck. That's not a choice on there. Wait, what did he say again? What is going on here? Okay. Shit, I don't know. Shit. Oh, yeah, sure. Why not? For old time's sake. I didn't mean to or nothing. What? I didn't mean to mean you were going to do something. Or nothing means you're being ignorant. I really don't know how to respond to this. I guess this is telling the truth, and then nothing means like, nothing's going on. I'm just got you between my arms for some odd reason. What is there? There's not a reason for everything. Y'all, let's go with because the damn cat tripped me up. That's what it was. Let's go with that. Didn't mean to. Let's tell the truth. I didn't mean to. Carlo caught me off guard. So it's not like I wanted to, I wanted to do anything to you. Girl. If you two by yourselves in a house, I wouldn't put it past you. I couldn't bring myself to explain the situation with a straight face.
そうか。驚いただろうな。
I'm telling the truth.
いや、それは疑っていないが。
Okay. Then Liliana, get up. I was relieved that he believed me. It also struck me that I had been talking to him this entire time so near to his face. I came to my senses and moved away. I felt my hands, my body coming in contact with his when I pushed myself back. But I needed to move or else I didn't know what would have happened. Girl. I straightened myself up and tried to continue what I was going to say. If you're going to sleep, you should go to the bedroom. You'll catch a cold here.
そうだな。
He nodded, then stood up from the sofa. What the hell? He fixed himself up. His collarbone was expressed, child. What the hell? He should be, frazzled in his whatchamacallit. But that's just me. Good night, Dante.
おやすみ。
With that, Dante walked slowly on shaky knees, as if he were ready to sleep. I'm going to have to live with Dante here for a while, aren't I? You should have took advantage. No, I'm just kidding. Don't ever take advantage of somebody sleeping. Just thinking about what happened was making my heart race again. I shook the thought out of my head and quickly headed to my bedroom. Oh, there's more than one bedroom? Boo. I suppose there is. It's a house, by the way. I should go to sleep already. After all, there's no telling what may happen. I thought to myself sternly. Even so, after changing my clothes and climbing into bed, I could feel my heart race even faster. Damn, Lily, you ain't slick, girl. You being isolated with this hot hunk of a man. Something's gonna happen. I would commend you if nothing happened, but something's gonna happen. Mm-hmm. Yes, God. Conscienza. Conscience, I guess? Alright, y'all. So, with that being said, that is chapter 5 said and done. So, Yes. We got a lot of exposition behind what my deal is straight from Mr. Falzone's mouth. And it's really appreciated because now he's very candid about me knowing my purpose with all this that's going on. And, you know, in Nicola's route, Nicola was the one that was more, let's tell her everything that she needs to know, whatever. As, you know, as little as possible, but she should know. Dante was like, no, I think we should keep her in the dark because, you know, then she can return back to her normal life in the church once this is all said and done. Yeah, so to see that, but also to see the tension kind of build up between Dante and Nicola in terms of the I'm having a brain fart. In terms of like believing in the legends of old or whatever, like the Falzone's purpose, the relic, so on and so forth, and then the key maiden and all this stuff. Nicola's like, are you serious? Come on, dude. We are in the 20th century. Why are you believing that hogwash from ages ago? So, you know, I would hate for there to be this tension between the two, but it did develop in front of our faces. So, yeah, folks, with that being said, ooh la la, we ended on quite a good note, too. I'm kidding. It was the spark, the flint that would build up to a flame, I'm willing to bet. As we're close to the ending, we're getting closer, I should say, y'all. So yeah, I really did enjoy myself. Not gonna lie. I mean, Dante's like I said before in the last video, his route is more like a balance. You get story, you get little bit of humor, little bit of cute, little bit of danger. Still a good mix of everything, y'all. So yeah, I will defo have chapter 6 played out, and that'll be this evening, I hope, because my computer's starting to fudge up with all of the video editing. So I'm a little bit of a grumpy cat, y'all, but we'll get it on into focus. And yeah, thank you very much for joining me on another episode of Piofiore Faded Memories playthrough. Y'all know my philosophy on this YouTube shit. View what you wanna, do what you wanna, and I'll see you lovely lads and lassies in the next episode. So until then, my friends, take care, take it easy, and peace.